As a media major, I think more critically about why I love TV and films. Is it the pretty colors, the action, the commercials? While I was rummaging around in my subconscious, I remembered a show I used to watch during my high school years. It was a spooky, quirky show that taught me the importance of family and showcased the adolescent struggle of trying to fit in. Oh, and it just happened to be about vampires. Young Dracula was a show that aired in 2006-2008 for 2 seasons, and then was renewed in 2011 for 3 more seasons. The show focuses on Count Dracula, played by Keith Lee Castle, moving his family to England due to an angry peasant mob, and it explores the family adjusting to life amongst humans. The first 2 seasons focus on the Dracula family and their human neighbors, the Branners. At school, Vlad deals with a shop teacher that is secretly a vampire slayer named Mr. Van Helsing. Both seasons have Vlad dealing with keeping his secret as well as baiting his vampicidal teacher, but in between he tries to do normal kid things, like have a sleepover, try out for the rugby team, and getting good grades. Later seasons bring in a different variety of characters who pose as allies and antagonists from both the human and vampire world. The show shines in its world building and establishing how vampires are as a species and their culture. I love the added nuance of their vampire slang because it really adds to the lore. Plus it's fun to say if you can't curse in front of your grandma.
My cape hate you more than garlic. I hope you get some really painful splinters from your coffin. Oh, but stick a steak in it. You know we're not supposed to mix with breathers. Well, you don't think I'm saving this stinking blood bag just to be nice, do you?
Tough peasants.
So you've organized her coming of age party?
The Count's son, Vladimir, who is played by Garen Howell, is the focus of the show, and as the audience we watch as he struggles to keep his family safe and grapples with having to be a full vampire when he grows older. Vlad's older sister, Ingrid, played by Claire Thomas, is everything you'd want in a vampire daughter, except the daughter part.
You just hate me because I'm a girl.
No, he hates you because you're really annoying. Oops.
Is also the Count's servant and punching bag Renfield, who's played by Simon Lutters. Lastly, there's my favorite character, who is arguably the wisest, the handsomest, the loyalist, bestest boy in the show, Zoltan the Hellhound, who's portrayed by a puppet and voiced by Andy Bradshaw. Vlad's best friend for the first 2 seasons is a goth boy named Robin, played by Craig Roberts, who loves vampires. Their friendship highlights one of the themes of the show, as each of them are the opposite of what their family wants. They both struggle with finding identity and who they want to be and what society wants. In later seasons, Robin's character is missed. He is a great foil for Vlad's issues throughout the episodes, their friendship usually being Vlad's primary motivation to want to be normal. In the last 3 seasons, Vlad is older, and the show is considered more of a teen drama, so the narrative explores more ideas of dating and crushes, which becomes Vlad's primary motivation. Twilight was really popular around this time, so I don't know if that had anything to do with it. Talking with the creator of Young Dracula, Danny Robbins, I was able to learn how the idea of the show was conceptualized from a book called Young Dracula and Young Monsters by Michael Lawrence. Danny and co-writer Dan Testel were able to take that initial idea and help adapt it into the series it is today. Danny was able to explain how when coming up with the show, he took inspiration from many spooky films such as The Lost Boys, Hammer's horror films, but the core of the idea came from the fish out of water TV trope and applied to the struggles adolescents go through.
We'd grown up watching shows that, I mean, like in England there's a show called Grange Hill, which is about school kids. I know there was one in America called Degrassi Junior High and the kids at Degrassi Street that was popular. I'm going to show my age here now. These are shows that were kind of popular in the 80s when I was a kid growing up. And, you know, all those shows that deal with teen alienation, with young people trying to kind of make sense of who they are and where they fit into the world, fed into this show as well, I think. Any show where you have a kid and you just drop them into somewhere else and they're a fish out of water, transpose them into somewhere where they no longer feel comfortable. There's you could list any number of those shows, but transposing that and making that kid a vampire, suddenly felt different, and that felt like that was really the thing that drew us in about the book. The one thing about the book was the idea of what happens if you take a vampire and drop them into a very normal neighborhood.
I hate being a vampire. It really sucks.
Isn't that rather the point?
It's interesting. I've done a lot of different shows in my career, and I still am impressed how many emails I get about Young Dracula. I get emails from all over the world with people contacting me like yourself to talk about it, and it clearly, for a lot of people your age, it was an important show of their childhood, and it captured a moment, and it's nice to have played a part in that.
Let's be real. It wouldn't take Sigmund Freud to deduce I'm a massive vampire fan, but out of all the vampire TV, books, and shows, this show is comfort food to me. Don't ask me to explain it. That you can call Freud to figure out. Chalk it to nostalgia or rose-colored glasses. This show allowed me to escape during those stressful moments after school when I wanted to rip my hair out. Now that I'm sorta kinda a grown-up, I look back on this show and realize this is why I wanted to work in TV. This show made me want to make projects that help people feel good during crappy situations. Hopefully it will involve vampires, but I'm negotiable.